Fire up Mason Rudolph if you're absolutely desperate. Shouldn't be that
Don't
desperate.
fire up Mason Rudolph.
Don't
Even
fire
if you're
him up.
desperate.
Don't
Throwing
fire
for
him.
300.
Yeah, don't fire. Bengals at Browns. Cover your mouth. They won't just do your order.
He has been quarterback 11 or higher 3 of the last 4 weeks. And everybody hates on this guy. It is Danny Dimes.
I'm hanging up right now. I can't believe it. I'm hanging up.
No. Wake up, wake up. What up, what up?
What up, what up?
How we doing, man?
Doing so good.
Saturday night. We were supposed to have a show Wednesday night. We didn't because we had incoming snow, and your boy here had to get some sleep, which I'm glad I did because I got called early in the morning to come in. You were not feeling so hot, I believe.
Yeah.
Corey also probably was unavailable. I think he's moving into his new house.
Yeah, yep.
Getting ready to.
Yeah, well, they're there tonight. They're there tonight. I believe this is the first night that they moved in. So, with that, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on into WPF, the When Pigs Can Fly Fantasy Football Show. We are your hosts of the show. I'm Sal Adams. He's Wesley Bryant.
That hurt,
No Corey
actually.
this evening.
The first time in the gym in a long time yesterday.
No Corey this evening, unfortunately. As we were just mentioning, they just got to move into their new house. They don't have internet yet. That's all right. So, without
Just the two of us.
Yeah. Without further ado, we might just as well break it on down. Tonight we have the Super Show. Was that too much? The Super Show. We get one big, informative, and fun, jam-packed episode this week, as we didn't have our early week show on Wednesday. So tonight we have Trending Hot, Trending Not, Studs, Duds, Picks, Locks, Injury Updates, Bye-Week Coverage, Thursday Night Recap, and our Home League Game Picks.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you might want to put this in 2 times speed when you're listening.
That's right. There's just 2 of us, so it'll go by a little faster. But with that, buckle on up, ladies and gentlemen, because the WPF crew is about to take flight.
And we're back.
Here we are.
Ran a little Rocket League before we jumped on, huh? How you feeling about that?
Yeah, dude, it was fun. I'm not good at it yet. I've got like maybe 2 game hours invested into it at this point.
I'm trash at it, but it is fun to play.
It is a lot of fun, yeah.
Okay,
Lots of fun.
Let's just jump right on. We got so much covered. So trending hot, trending not. You got a couple, I believe. Go ahead with your trending hot.
Yeah. So I've got 2 trending hot on the week. One of the guys hasn't done well. He's had a couple decent games so far. He's been a RB2 all season. He's going to get the start this week in place of the injured Breece Hall. I predict a big game from Braylon Allen this week. Big
Against
guy.
Who?
Yeah, doesn't.
Oh,
even
Dolphins.
matter.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I think it's Miami, and it's in Miami, so it's gonna be warm. I just think it's a good game for him to perform well, especially he's a big body and he's fast. If I remember, he weighs right.
Oh, he's totally getting cramps.
I think he's big. He's like a Dollar General version of Derrick Henry.
Oh goodness.
Did you want me to do both my trending
Yeah, go
hots?
ahead.
You had trending knots, right?
I got one trending hot, one trending hot.
Okay, my other trending hot is fresh off of his very first overall wide receiver 1 week in his career. This young man has crested 12.9 fantasy points in PPR formats every single week since week 8. He is averaging just under 10 targets a game in that 5-game span, 49 targets in 5 games. Jerry Jeudy is scorching hot.
A revenge game. They still lost, but boy, did he torch the Broncos. That was huge. That was awesome. That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was.
You going into the game, you thought that for sure that was going to be like a low-scoring defensive game.
For sure, absolutely.
Browns Broncos? Yeah, easy. Nope. 80-something
Guess
points
again.
scored, I believe.
Guess again.
So trending hot. Isaac Guerrero. Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason are both on IR, I believe. They both got put on IR. And he's looked good when he's come in. So he's going to be the lead back, I believe. I'm pretty sure out of all the guys they got now. Yeah, so if you don't have him, even if, what is it, a redraft? Last week going into the playoffs, this is a big week for everybody.
I'm
If you're
sure he's
struggling,
rostered
he's
everywhere, but if
probably
he's not,
rostered, but if he's not, pick him up on those
yeah,
those lazy leagues, you know. And trending not. This guy has just been super inconsistent. Just when you think he's gonna do something good, no. Javonte Williams, dud. Trending not dud. Just he's one good week, 2-3 bad weeks, maybe a good week. That's just he's not startable, and that's it for our trending hot, trending not.
Yeah.
We
I like it.
want to do. Oh, well, let's do studs and duds of last week's week 13's.
Week 13. Studs.
Yes.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
So, Corey's not going to be here. I was lazy. I will give in Corey's studs and duds. You'll be doing yours, so go ahead, go first.
QB3 on the week for me.
Oh,
29
right. Your notes were gone. I forgot.
Yeah. 29 of 38, 414 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He had an interception. My stud quarterback of the week, Russell Wilson.
Yep.
My dud on the week was QB 32. He had 2.2 fantasy points. He was 11 of 18 for 94 yards, 2 carries for 4 yards. Brock Purdy. And that was in his return game, if I recall. He missed last week. So
Yeah. Stud, QB1, losing quarterback, but we're just kind of talking about him. Jameis Winston, 34 for 58, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. I believe there were pick sixes, I believe, too. 40.98 points still with those. QB1 on the week. And the dud is also Shannon's poop pile. Let's hear it from you, Shannon.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my poop pile award of the week goes to Kirk Cousins. He threw 4 interceptions, one of which resulted in a touchdown, and had 1 fumble and scored no touchdowns on the week. That is why this week I award Kirk Cousins the poop pile of the week.
Kirk, go Chains. Kirk Cousins, 24 for 39, 245 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2.1 points, QB 31.
speaking of inconsistent, am I right?
Yeah, dude. He looked so good in the beginning of the year. It looked like he was finally getting his weapons involved. And then, what? Like Kyle Pitts was looking good. Blanking on, what's your
Drake
boy's?
London?
Drake London.
He's still been good. It's Darnell Mooney who's been falling off of late.
Darnell Mooney. But I think
Unreal,
he's
right?
coming back this week.
Oh, jeez, of course you do.
Mm-hmm. I need him
Speaking
to.
of wide receivers, should we just jump to wide receivers?
Yeah,
You want to
do
go
it.
first? I'll have you go first.
I'll go first because it has already been said. He is trending hot. Jerry Jeudy, 9 of 13, 235 yards, 1 touchdown. Surprisingly got 1 touchdown. 40.5 points. Wide receiver 1 on the week. Dud, Cooper Kupp, 6 targets, 3 receptions for 17 yards, 4.7 points. Wide receiver 74.
My stud wide receiver on the week before this week was a nobody, and he is hot on waiver wires everywhere. He had 6 receptions on 12 targets, 103 yards, and a touchdown. He was wide receiver 4 on the week with 24.3 fantasy points. Talking about Parker Washington, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you see how many
New wide
claims?
receiver room.
Do you see how many claims were put in on him
Oh, a ton.
in
Dude.
our league?
Oh, in our league?
I think 4 out of the 10 put in a claim on him. I'm the only one that put fab
Any
towards it.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your dud?
My dud on the week, wide receiver 65. He had 7 targets for 2 receptions, 45 yards. This is another guy that's been hot and cold. Somebody in our league just made a big trade for him and his quarterback, which I thought was a weird trade, but I'm talking about Calvin Ridley. 6.5 fantasy points. Speaking of which, what did you think about that trade?
Was that
gave
between
up
Shannon and Lagendijk?
Yeah, he gave up Trevor Lawrence.
They trade a lot with each other. You notice that?
They do. It's because they talk to each other. They
I know.
sit with
They
each
work
other at
together,
work.
don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so they can talk trades all the time. So I don't know. I thought that was a bad trade for.
We got cell phones, boys. Hit us up. We'll trade.
You know that's right. I'm ready to trade.
I'm like the
Shannon
one
doesn't
guy that
wanna
hasn't been trading much.
It's true.
I try.
Let's go to running backs.
Running backs. My stud.
You go ahead.
Corey stud. Bucky Irving.
Bucky.
The leader in the Tampa Bay room as of late. 25 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 27.5 points. Good enough for RB1. In the
He
dud.
has scored 1540 or more every week since week 6.
That's insane.
1 week under 1540. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
Yeah. Dud. Michigan State boy. Kenneth Walker. What's gotten into him? 16 carries, 49 yards, 6.6 points. Running back 44. He is also out this week. He's on the injury report. But Go ahead. What you got?
Running back number 6 on the week. He had 22 carries for 112 rushing yards and a touchdown. Added in 3 receptions for 11 yards. Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle was my stud. And my dud was he had 12 carries for 60 yards, 0 receptions on 1 target, 6 fantasy points. Running back 47 on the week, Brees Hall.
Yeah. Do you know, going back to the studs for running back, do you know if you were to put these two guys together in one stat as like the running back, they would be up there in studs every week? Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery. They split like almost perfectly evenly every week. If you combine their stats, they are a running back 1 every week. Our running game, the Detroit Lions running game, is so good.
Yeah, I believe last week David Montgomery had.
They were both low. No,
88 and 36.
Oh, last week. Yeah.
He had 88 and 36. Jahmyr Gibbs had 43 and 30. So I mean, we're looking at, if that's one running back, we're looking at 130 yards, 120 yards, and then another 80 through the air.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tight ends?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
The tight end stud of the week, brought to you by Corey Lambert, is David Njoku. 17 targets, 9 receptions. It's 52 yards, 2 touchdowns, 23 points. I'm just looking at Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku because they're right on my notes. Are right on top of each other. 18 receptions, 18 of 30 targets with those two combined.
Wow.
For 287 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Who was your dud?
Cade Otton, the guy I said trending not last week. He is still trending not. 4 for 7, 20 yards, 6 points.
I didn't want to go with Brock Bowers, but he had a ridiculous game. He had 10 receptions for 140 yards. That's not my tight end my stud of the week because I'm sick of saying his name.
Yeah.
My stud of the week was Pat Freiermuth. Tight end 6 receptions for 68 yards and a tutty. It was good enough
Smooth.
for like 18.8 points in a PPR league. In our league, he got 24.8. So he was my stud. My dud on the week. I apologize. I lost this. Oh yeah, I remember. There he is. He finished tight end 49 on the week. Their whole offense was bad. His quarterback was my dud. This is the first game he's played all year that he wasn't a top 10 tight end in the NFL.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
2 targets, 1 reception, 7 yards, 2.7 fantasy points for the Mr. Kittle.
That hurts.
That was wild. Tight end 49. Insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity.
That's it for our studs and duds.
Yeah.
And I just want to preface this Thursday night recap we're about to do. All 3 of us would have picked the Lions, just so you know. We all would have had our homer picks. Actually, would you have? Or would you have gone on stats saying that every road team has won in the last so many games?
No, this was a tough game for me, and I went back and forth. I would have taken the Lions on Thursday. I just woke up with a gut feeling we were going to win. On Wednesday when we done the show, I might have taken the Packers. So just because I was looking at how banged up we were. The Lions are brutally banged up. But
Do you know who looked good?
Muhammad?
I was going to say O'Connor.
O'Connor looked great, too.
Dude, he looks so good. Muhammad
95 and 69. He looked really good, too.
Muhammad had looked good the last 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Jamal Adams got in there. He got a tackle. He didn't look great, but he certainly wasn't better acquisition.
They put on great pressure in the first half for sure.
Oh, yeah. Kendall Vildor wasn't on the field, and I loved every bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we might as well just do that right now then, yeah.
Yep.
Let's pull out the big guns on the stats on that, because this was a shootout, basically. I mean, it wasn't a shootout, but man, it was back and forth. 65 total points scored. Goof, 32 of 41, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a bad interception. Jordan Love, 12 of 20 for 206 and a touchdown. If you played him in fantasy, he only got you 16 points. Wasn't a great week. Unless you're in a 6-point touchdown league, then he got you 18. But running backs.
Dude, stud of this game, Tim
Josh
Patrick.
Jacobs. Oh.
For the Lions.
Yeah.
First touchdowns, and he got 2 of them since 2022? 2021?
It's been 2 years at least, yeah. Christian Watson had a couple of big gainers.
Oh, man. Oh,
4 receptions for 114.
that brings me to my dud of this game. Wait till I come to Detroit.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. Where was he?
Yeah.
Did he come?
I don't
Did
know.
he show up?
I don't know if he made it to
No.
Detroit.
I think the stud of this game was Josh Jacobs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
3 touchdowns, 66 yards. He had a great fantasy outing.
Listen,
66 yards isn't super impressive, but
No,
he
it's not.
actually, in 2 games, I think he ran for 155 and 5 touchdowns against us, though. That's
Yeah.
better than anybody else in the league.
yeah,
so
but there's some bad, I don't know. Broken coverage on the one where Brian Branch went to blitz and Kirby Joseph's on the other side of the field, and then there was the really bad, not really bad. Other cornerbacks aren't getting called for that PA. His eyes were looking at the ball. Christian Watson, because his arm.
that was a
crossed
terrible
him.
PI.
Yeah.
Dude, it didn't feel like he stopped dead in his
Yes.
tracks and just kind of stood there.
Yes. 100%.
I don't know, man.
And Terry Arnold's arm was just straight across where the ball would go to catch it.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a great call.
Whatever. Still won.
They're calling it tight on him. The Lions looked good, man. We're persevering, even when the odds are stacked up against us. That's what great ball clubs do. That's what great teams do.
Aaron Glenn needs to pat himself on the back.
Yeah, this was the best defensive performance I thought, play call wise, all year I've seen out of him, and he's had a good year as a DC. So, excellent game all around for us. I was not in love with some of the gutsy calls that we made.
I said one of the most
4th and 1 or
exciting
2
games
on
this
our
year,
31.
but some bad choices and some ballsy choices.
Exciting and good ways and in bad
Yeah.
ways, dude.
Uh, Lions 12-1 clinch playoffs with a duct tape defense is what I said.
Yeah.
10 days off until Buffalo. Get some healthy guys back.
Yeah, that'll be
Maybe.
good. That'll be really good. Hopefully, Aleem McNeil's head is good.
I think it's something to do with his jaw, like his TMJ flare up or whatever. I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
why it wasn't concussion. That's like I was rewatching the play. I was like, he didn't look like he got hurt or hit or.
No,
So
didn't
someone
look
was saying
bad.
it was like a flare up of his jaw issue or something. I don't know. But yeah. So you good on Thursday night?
I'm great. Yeah.
Bye week teams. This is what you guys trying to make the playoffs in your fantasy team this week are having to go through. Broncos, Colts, Patriots, Commanders, Ravens, Texans. So I listed off a bunch of fantasy relevant people we're going to be missing out on. You got anything to say before I go off on that?
I got a bunch of them too written down.
I was
so,
going to say Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, Devon Vele. He just had a huge game. Anthony Richardson. Go ahead and what?
I was gonna say we can alternate on these.
Yeah,
if you
go ahead.
want.
Go Colts.
Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman,
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce.
I just like to throw him in there because Anthony Richardson does like targeting him downfield on those deep balls. Yep.
Yeah.
Patriots, we got Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. Anything else? Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
The Manders. We've got, of course, Jaden Daniels, of course, Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler. Is it Zach Ertz that's on their team?
Yep. I don't think Austin Eckler. I think he's out, isn't he?
I think he's hurt, but
Yeah.
Anybody know who? Chris Rodriguez? Is that who?
Yes. Yes, I
Chris-
picked him up.
Chris or Chase?
Rodriguez. I'm not sure whether. C.
Yeah.
Period. Rodriguez.
I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but he had a good week last week, so
Yeah, I
I think
actually
we both
picked him
put a
up.
claim in on him, and you got him.
Yeah, I'm again the only one who put in Fab.
Yep.
Before we go on real quick, let me find him because I might be playing him. No, he's on my bench. But Chris Rodriguez. Yep, you're right. And then Ravens, we got Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews.
Isaiah Likely? Ish?
Yeah, I think I left him off because you haven't heard of him much lately.
He had a good week last week. Texans. CJ Stroud. Stephon Diggs is out anyways. Nico Collins. Dalton Schultz, who's been a little bit more lively of late. Joe Mixon is probably the biggest name in
I
this
was gonna
offense.
say I was waiting for you to say that.
Tank Dell, if you want to mention him,
Yep.
who's been rocky this year.
That's all I
There's some
had.
other names you could bring up, but that's the bulk of what you're going to be missing out.
Yeah, missing out on a lot. There's a lot of people you're having to put in other people for. It's tough.
I saw some leagues starting their playoffs this week, and I was dumbfounded because I'm like, dude, Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson out on your bench, and it's playoffs week 1. That's crazy. Joe
Yeah.
Mixon,
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin. Oh my, Jonathan Taylor. I would be Nico Collins. I would be so mad.
Yeah.
There's no way. Derrick Henry. Oh my gosh. This is why you don't start your playoffs in week 14, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's thing one. Thing two, this is the crap. They need to do something about having this many teams on a bye week this late in the year is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. So, real quick, I'm going to flip horizontal. There we go. This week's injury report brought to you by Sidecar Slider Bar, Farmington Hills, Grand River. Hit them up. You got a party caterer host there. They're good at hosting parties and catering. Go there. 3 to 6 happy hour. Not sure if I mentioned that or not, but they are a sponsor for the injury report. Boom. Let me flip this back. Boom. Injury report. Saints Giants. Taysom Hill has been put on IR. Malik Neighbors is questionable. Jets Dolphins. Sauce Cardinals doubtful. Breece Hall has been downgraded to out. You got something to say about that?
Nope. Sounded like you said Sauce Arsenal.
Sauce Gardner? Listen, I don't enunciate very well, all right?
I'm just thinking, man.
Raiders at Bucks. Zamir White out. Madison questionable. Jacoby Myers questionable. Bucky Irving questionable.
Insert Amir Abdullah? Question mark.
I don't know. Maybe
Or Sincere McCormick.
Sincere McCormick. The hot
Sincerely,
hand.
don't start him.
Sincerely, maybe. If you're trying to throw in all the, what do they call it? Throwing in all the. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I can't think.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it. But if you're really pushing for the playoffs and you don't really have a choice, and you have a chance to get him, and you're outside looking in, give it a try. Why not? Browns Steelers. Tillman out. Pickens questionable. Jags Titans. Lawrence IR done for season. Thanks, Aziz. What's your face name?
Al Shair.
Yeah, that guy.
No, dude, he's a good guy.
He's great.
Wasn't trying to take his head off.
Yeah, okay.
He hasn't done that like 5 times already before.
Exactly. Jags, Panthers, Eagles. Jalen Coker, doubtful. Dallas Goddard, they just actually put him on IR, so he will be expected back for the playoffs.
I'm interested to see who their tight end 1 is. Looking forward. They just activated CJ Uzama.
Oh, yeah, they did. They just picked him up.
But they also have that. I'm going to botch his name if I don't look it up. It's Calcaterra.
Yep.
Grant Calcaterra.
Not touching that one. Seahawks, Cardinals. Kenneth Walker is out. He just got switched to out.
Charbonnet.
Fire up Zach Charbonnet. Yep. Bears at 49ers. Roshan Johnson out. DeAndre Swift questionable. Jordan Mason, CM, Christian McCaffrey, like I mentioned, are both on IR. And Bosa is doubtful. Bills. Go ahead.
Does that mean Travis Homer is who we're looking at in Chicago this week? Yeah.
If Swift doesn't play.
Yeah. That's a good spot start. If Swift is out, man, I might recommend picking up Travis Homer. And if Swift gets bounced late, I would probably start Travis Homer for a 1 game.
He used to be on Seahawks, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Bills, Rams. Keon Coleman, questionable. Dalton Kincaid, questionable. Tyler Higbee, out. Chargers, Chiefs. Lab McConkey, questionable. McCole Hardman just got put on IR for the Chiefs. So
they still got the refs.
Yeah. That is it for your sidebar injury report.
Oh. Go and get you some sliders, man. My mouth is watering at the thought of it,
dude,
man.
It's so good. I'm so hungry right now.
Maybe I'll come down.
But I'm not going to eat anything, LV. I'm not going to eat anything. Have my old man sugar-free Werthers.
Should we jump right on into picks and locks?
Picks and locks.
First game of the week, 1 o'clock on CBS. Tickets as low as $6. This is a game that nobody's going to. That's insanity. I've never seen them that low. There's actually another game pretty low later in this show.
Is this a Jags-Titans game?
Jags at Titans.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'm
Do you
taking
have
the
these
Titans
notes?
out. Yeah, I'm taking the Titans at home. This is an easy pick for me. The Jags are abysmal. Both of these teams are not great, but the Titans have a better defense. It looks like you're taking the Jags. Good for you.
No, I want to hear what your locks are.
So I'm taking the Titans, and my locks are...
Don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder.
Tony Pollard.
Okay.
And Will Levis.
Let's go. My locks? Parker Washington, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine.
Oh, gosh.
Let's go.
Who's winning?
He's actually, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, he's been trending hot for a few weeks now. Without looking at it. But I got it right here. Let me look at it. Westbrook-Ikhine.
Yeah, I got it too.
21.1, 12.8, 19.7. He had a bad week, week 10, 6.1. Before that, New England 16. Before that, against Detroit 11.9. So he's been pretty
he's
reliable.
Basically 12 or more every week since week 8. His target share has been decent. 6-3, 6-5, 8.
He said at least an 85% snap count since week 8.
Most notable for him is he has scored at least 1 touchdown every single game since week 6, except for 1.
Yep, except for Chargers game.
7 of the last 8 weeks he's scored a touchdown. That is an incredible run. Let's move on to the next game. Did you take the Titans?
I did take the Titans.
Okay. Next up, we have the New York Jets against the Dolphins. They're in Miami, 78-degree weather. You already know who my lock for this game is. So.
Last game, I said Titans win at home and get back in the winning circle with the banged-up Jags team. This game, Dolphins get much needed win at home. Devon Achane and Devontae Adams are my locks.
I'm taking the Dolphins. They're at home. The Jets are not good. I'm taking Braylon Allen as a lock. And I think Devon Achane is another great lock for this game.
I just can't trust their receivers lately.
No.
Tyreek Hill got a lucky touchdown pass that wasn't for him last week.
This to me is probably top 3 biggest games of the week, maybe 1 or 2 even. Falcons at Vikings. If the Falcons drop this game, which by the way is a return to home, a homecoming game. There you go for Kirk Cousins. Wow, I couldn't spit that out. So we've got Falcons at the Vikings. The Falcons are 6-6. If they lose, they're pretty much done in the playoffs race.
But if they win, they're right back in that fight.
If they win, they're right back in it. And then if you look at the Vikings, if they lose, Green Bay's right back in it. But if the Vikings win, Green Bay's all but done, in my opinion.
They can still make the playoffs. Packers?
They technically could.
Easily.
They technically could. But I think it's a lot easier if it's going to be a lot easier if the Vikings lose this game, because I think the Packers will beat the Vikings when they play them. Anyways, Falcons at Vikings. Go ahead.
I went first the last one.
I'm taking the Falcons to win on the road. I'm thinking Kirk Cousins is going to have a big game. My boy Justin Jefferson had been semi-quiet recently. I think that he is going to capitalize. I have 3 locks in this game: Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones.
I picked the Vikings this week. I got Darnell Mooney and Aaron Jones as my locks. Falcons really badly need this win, like you said. And the Lions would like the pressure taken off if they did. But Minnesota has still only lost at home to Detroit, and I believe it's going to stay that way. I hope not. Obviously, Lions homers here. I hope not. I hope the Falcons. I hope Kirk Cousins gets that homecoming and wipes the floor with Vikings, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, listen, I just don't like the Vikings. I never have. I like a lot of their players.
You like a lot of Falcons players too, because they're on your team.
Yeah, I do. I do like the Falcons players. I thought the Falcons were going to be good this year. They're kind of showing themselves to be pretenders a little bit. Let's move on to one of the most underwhelming games of the week. Tickets as low as $11 to this one out in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New Orleans Saints against the New York Giants.
Giants are banged up. Drew Lock making another start. But look for Kamara to run all over this hurt Giants team. Alvin Kamara, Wan'Dale Robinson, Saints win at Giants.
Is Malik Neighbors questionable?
Yes.
Tyrone Tracy is going to dominate the New Orleans Saints. New York Giants in a close one.
Say that a little bit more confidently.
I don't know if I could.
I was pretty confident. Panthers at Eagles. Some guy put up $3 million that the Eagles are going to win this game. He bet $3 million on the Eagles against the Panthers.
What's the return on that? $3,100,000?
Kind of makes you want the Panthers to win.
But there's no way that there's a big return on that, right?
I don't know.
Spread is 14 points. Who you got?
Unless he bet the spread.
Maybe.
I got the Eagles, and my locks are Saquon Barkley and Adam Thielen.
Oh my gosh, I'm super bummed out that that's what you said
I stole
because
your thunder.
my lock is the Eagles, or my pick is the Eagles, and my locks are Saquon Barkley and Adam Thielen.
Let's go, super locks. Let's go.
Next up, this to me this is a big game. We have the Cleveland
Oh,
Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This division, they always play each other so tough, so tough. I think the Browns are gonna play the upset here, and I have, unbelievably, I don't have Jameis Winston as a lock, but I do have Jerry Jeudy, and is it Najee Harris is banged up, right? Jalen Warren.
I don't know. Is he on the injury report?
Jalen Warren is my lock, anyways. I'm not calling him, start him in your RB1 or 2 spot, but if you need a little flex appeal, Jalen Warren.
Let me see real quick on that Najee Harris. Rest was a full participant in practice on Thursday.
Okay. I thought I read somewhere that he was banged up.
So didn't the Browns beat the Steelers first game? Jameis Winston's going to get his guys' stats. But ultimately the Steelers defense is going to be too much for him this time around in Pittsburgh. Steelers win. Jerry Jeudy, George Pickens are my locks.
2 weeks ago. Listen, don't let me talk stupid. Don't lock Jalen Warren. I got a feeling though. Might be a little
But
flexible.
tonight's going to be a good night.
Next up we have the Raiders at the Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Browns beat the Steelers 2 weeks ago, 24-19.
So I always liked this matchup. When we were kids, they played in the Super Bowl against each other. These are both pirate teams.
Oh, yes. I remember specifically being one of the people rooting for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so I liked the Buccaneers on 2. They had Brad Smith, I believe, at quarterback.
Well, I just
back
remember
then.
Rich Gannon on the Raiders, and
Rick Gannon, yeah,
Buccaneers defense wins championships. That was the big saying back then.
Warren Sapp.
Yep.
Big Warren Sapp out there. There was some big names. Derek Brooks.
What was the cornerback's name?
Antoine Winfield, right?
Is that right?
Fairly certain it was Antoine Winfield. Big names, either way. Big names. I'll go ahead. I have the Buccaneers winning this one. My locks are Brock Bowers, Bucky Irving, and Mike Evans.
You had Rich Gannon. You had Jerry Rice on the Raiders receiving.
Old Jerry Rice.
Yeah, old Jerry Rice. Brad Johnson, not Brad Smith. Brad Johnson.
Yeah, Brad Johnson. Number 14. Right?
Michael Pittman, the running back. Mike Elstott.
Mike Allstott was such a stud, dude.
Oh, Keyshawn Johnson.
Wide receiver, yeah.
Yep.
He was so good when we were young. Oh man.
Hold on, before
Did they
we
have
get out.
Joe Jaravicious too? Or was he on the Eagles at that point?
He is not on here.
James Thrash might be who I'm thinking. It doesn't matter.
I just want to look at this cornerback real quick. Charles Woodson on the Raiders. But yeah, Derek Brooks, linebacker, Brian Kelly. Rondé Barber, that's what I was trying to think of.
Ooh,
Rondé Barber. And then John
Did
Lynch.
they have Antoine Winfield on that team?
It's not showing. No, I did not. But yeah. Mike Allstott, man, he was good. Okay. Did you say who you're picking?
I'll let you go first.
So my locks.
Weird. Where was I thinking?
Brock Bowers and Mike Evans. Wasn't Anton Winfield on the Chargers?
He was not ever on the Bucks. I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay. Brock Bowers, Mike Evans. Raiders didn't look too bad last time they played. But they don't have anything to play for like the Buccaneers do. And they're still fighting that division. I got Buccaneers winning.
Nice. Next game.
Who'd you pick?
The Buccaneers.
Oh,
Brock Bowers and Bucky Irving were my locks. And
okay.
Mike Evans.
Okay. Seahawks at Cardinals.
Big NFC West matchup.
That's huge.
This is a huge one, yeah.
Huge.
Sure.
Was it Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah. My locks are DK Metcalf and James Conner. I got a feeling the Cardinals. I feel like this might be my first time picking the Cardinals because I'm always against them. But I got a feeling they're going to handle business and keep this division race tight because Seahawks got the upper hand right now.
I'm also taking the Cardinals. My locks are Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marvin Harrison Jr. I think this is going to be a big wide receiver game. The spread is actually Arizona by 3. I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm just saying if Cardinals win, in theory the Cardinals win. The Rams are playing the Bills, so that's tough. The 49ers are playing the Bears. We could still see what we would see two teams at the top of this division with just a one-game gap.
Separation, right.
Yeah, if the 49ers win, and the Rams, even if they lose. So it's going to be an interesting tight race right down to the finish for this division. So I'm excited about that. Looking at the next game, Bills at Rams. This was the other really big game in my opinion. I really want to take the Rams. I do. I really do. The Rams played the Lions close. They played the Packers close. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Seahawks. Then they got blown out by the Eagles. I'm just looking at the big games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Games against teams that are tough. I just don't think they're going to be able to beat this Bills team. I really hope they do. I'm pulling for Stafford and the boys. I am locking the running backs here. I'm locking James Cook, and I'm locking Kyron Williams.
So this is at Rams.
Yeah, it's at the Coliseum.
I do think the Rams lose this game, but
Coliseum, SoFi Stadium, whatever.
SoFi Stadium. Matt Stafford, as we know, being a Lions guy for 12 years, he likes to show up against good teams.
He does.
But I think Josh Allen and the Bills are too much for him. So I got Josh Allen and Puka Nacua as my locks. Bills winning.
You want the next one?
Bears at 49ers. So, Bears have yet to win an away game. I don't know if you noticed that. They have not won an away game all season.
0-5, baby.
It's going to stay that way. George Kittle is going to bounce back and have a huge game this week.
Huge.
My locks are George Kittle, and if he plays, DeAndre Swift.
49ers.
49ers. Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Garendo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bears
This
got
seems
pretty
like
good defense, though.
Bears have a really good defense. This seems like the type of game where they're going to use the Bears are going to use their Swiss Army knife to be effective. So I think DJ Moore is probably going to have a good game too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good call.
Cruising right along. Dodgers at the Chiefs.
Go ahead.
My locks in this game. It's tough to make a lock, right? Because J.K. Dobbins is out. Pacheco's coming back, but he's not super healthy yet. DeAndre Hopkins feels like a safe lock this game.
Mm-hmm.
Ladd McConkey's banged up.
Questionable, yep.
If he plays, he's definitely my lock for these guys. I'm taking the Chargers to win this game.
Yes, I'm also taking the Chargers to win this game. Chargers mess around in KC and get the win to continue Jim Harbaugh's great first season with this team. My locks are, as you mentioned, Ladd McConkey if he plays. And you also mentioned this guy. I think they're going to give him a little more wiggle room. Isaiah Pacheco could have a big game.
I hope so. I want him to put me into a situation come playoff time where I am in a bind because I don't know which running back to start. Right now, I'm not starting him because I have Saquon, I have Jahmyr Gibbs, I have Josh Jacobs. But if Pacheco comes back to what we thought he was going to be preseason.
How did you get so stacked at running back, first of all? You got Saquon, that's right. I don't know how you did that.
Move Christian McCaffrey.
Dirty boy.
Made some stuff happen. I don't have any picks this year or next year. That's part of the problem. I'll be trading in the offseason. Believe that. Final game of the week, Bengals at Cowboys. I had to go first on the last one. I will if you want me to on this one.
Bengals.
Yeah, okay.
Bengals are going to beat the Cowboys in a high-scoring shootout. Give me T. Higgins and CeeDee Lamb as my locks. As long as CeeDee Lamb is okay with his shoulder and everything.
I can't believe the Cowboys are 1-5 at home. I got to imagine at some point the Bengals are going to.
I think their only win was Thanksgiving.
And they're going to realize that they're not going to make the playoffs this year. They need something on this team defensively. The earlier they're picked, the better. At some point, they should start waving the flag. Either way, I'm taking the Bengals. Joe Burrow is having an MVP caliber season. It's unfortunate that they've lost so many games. Lock him this game.
Like 4-8, 4-9.
T. Higgins is my other lock.
Yep.
I'm not locking anybody from the Cowboys. Rico Dowdle, actually.
There you go.
Pretty safe lock this week.
That is it for our picks and locks.
That's it for everything except for our home league picks, right?
Yeah, home league picks. I'll run through that real quick. You and me?
Yeah, we might as well go quick.
I can tell you Corey's too, actually. I got his up.
Looks like I'm in a little bit of a time crunch here, but that's all right.
No, you're good. Then do it quick. So
First game of the week, I got Corey against
Corpy?
Corpy. I am taking, Corey has gotten really hurt with injuries. I'm taking Corpy to win this game. No Bo Nix, no Anthony Richardson. He's starting Travis Etienne and Sincere McCormick. Amon-Ra only got him 10 points. I'm taking Corpy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I'm actually gonna take Corey this week.
Good.
I'm gonna take Corey. He's got Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore. Like you said, he might have a huge game. Hawkinson might have a huge game.
Next game, we've got.
Oh, Corey also picked himself.
We've got Doss against Quinn. I'm taking Doss in this one. Quinn got a goose egg from Jaden Reed. Doss's team looks pretty good right now, so.
Yeah, we kind of got a little head start there. Yeah. I'm going to take Doss too, just because we unfortunately already had the Thursday game, so we can see that he's got quite the lead. And he's got Evans, Devontae Smith, Patrick Mahomes. So
Who did Corey take?
Corey took Doss as well. He said Evans against Baker's his matchup there.
Up next, we've got me against Lagendijk. I'm taking myself. My team looks good this week.
Yeah, I'm also taking you. Corey also took you. He actually said he did his picks before this game started. He picked Love and Brees, but Brees is out, so oof.
Want to move to your game?
Go for it.
Darian against you, Wesley. Wesley
have Brees
had
anymore. That's funny.
David Montgomery with 20 points, so I'm taking Wesley.
Wesley. Ooh, he's got some guys on his team though. As much as I'd love to win this game, I'm gonna pick myself.
Good pick. Who did
Corey,
Corey take?
Corey took me too. He said Kittle against Chase.
Last game of the week is the biggest game of the week as far as closest matchup goes, in my opinion. I'm actually taking Richard to beat Shannon.
Richard. Just by looking at the first three people, I'm gonna say Richard as well.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Who did Corey take?
Corey took. He has some stuff scribbled down here. He picked Richard. He had actually at first he picked Shannon, scribbled it out, and then picked Richard.
Nice.
So
Well, that's it.
That's it.
That's a wrap.
All right.
Thanks for
Peace.
stopping in.